хороший. Я приглашаю следующего спикера на эту сцену, Мехмет Халдун Йылмаз, главный управляющий FMT Engineering, Стамбул, Турецкая Республика. Пожалуйста.
Yes, hello to everyone. My name is Haldun Yılmaz. I'm the general manager of FMT Facade consulting company. As a facade consultants, we are operating in 15 different countries, in 4 different continents by now. I'm representing the second generation of my family, which is involved in this facade industry for almost 60 years. And I am in this industry in different positions for 36 years now. But the last 15 years is as a facade consultant. Based in Istanbul, Turkey. And I'm very glad to be here in Moscow. It's like a second home to me. My first time here was in 1992. It is 31 years ago. It was a beginning of a new era, and I was here as a facade consultant, facade contractor, in fact. Most of you probably don't remember those times, but things were changing, and we were bringing many materials, engineers, workers from Turkey or some European countries. But as a facade consultant for the last decades, we had projects in Russia, in Moscow and around. And the thing is, most of the facade contractors and most of the material suppliers were locals from Russia. And not only that, as a facade consultant in some other countries, like Georgia, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, many of the material suppliers and contractors were coming from Russia. So we have seen our friends talking here with their design works and products locally. So I'm very, very proud of this development. And let's continue with the subject, path to successful facades. When I say successful facades, I don't mean the facade contractor making the most money. I don't mean the owner of the main contractor buying in a good price, or I don't mean the success during the construction, the success at the end of the construction, the success maybe after decades of the construction. As a facade consultant, of course we are concentrated on good, successful, high quality, optimum price facades. And we do some works, we do some documentations, some research for that. But there are many kinds of things. So today I'm going to talk about a little bit general, not too much technical, not too much detail. Here's a classical chart for a facade job. And I'm not going to talk about every detail of it, but I will try to explain some of them to you, which are most important for me as a facade consultant. Maybe I will explain a little bit facade consultants' role in this a little bit. and then maybe we will have time to discuss during the networking breaks. Okay, some of those criteria: performance and quality. We have to be sure about our aim. Okay. So my speech is mostly involves all the actors in this industry: the contractors, facade contractors, material suppliers, system suppliers, owner as well, and the architect. So the thing is, all of them has one aim, one target. What kind of performance we want, what kind of quality we need, okay? What do we need? This one or this one? Short term or long term? And then, for example, one very important thing is the service life of facade. In general, not only one part of the facade. It must be harmonized. We shouldn't use one short life material together with a long life material. We shouldn't use non-replaceable elements in some parts that need to be replaced in the future. So we have to calculate the service life of all ingredients, not in general. And of course, I'd like to talk about the budget. The budget must be calculated by all the actors, like the architect and the owner and the facade consultant. And once it's set, we should stick on this budget. We shouldn't change it on the way, okay? Yeah, I know sometimes it's not easy, but we shouldn't do it. And we shouldn't ask shiny and flashy products in cheap prices. We should always rely on performance. The performance must be the performance, and the quality must be the first thing in this business. Believe me, some simple solutions looks really good. We shouldn't give up performance for some small details, aesthetic details maybe, which maybe will not seen in the future by the people. So we shouldn't give up the performance and the quality. Of course, there's this design coordination. We have to know what we are doing and what we will do at the beginning. All actors, all parties should know. We should start with the architect's idea. We should try to realize the architect's idea by using all the methods on the way. Okay, so why design coordination? Of course, we are going to start with the architect, but there are other consultants, other engineers in this. So, like the lighting and MEP and the fire consultant and the structurals. So this is not a one-way work. This is two-way work. All actors, all parties, consultants, owner, contractors should work together in this. So facade is not only facade consultancy. It's all parties are involved. So as I told you that of course I'm going to explain things from the eyes of a facade consultant. But for me, the most important thing is the documentation. The documentation should be prepared very well by the facade consultant. If you have a facade consultant, this is really important. Everything must be defined and designed at the beginning in a good way, in a good method. Everything must be explained to the others, to the owner, to the architect, to the contractors in a good way. Don't expect the contractor to know everything and understand everything, and don't blame them for everything. Just try to team up with them. On the other hand, I said this is very important for me. Also, I need to tell that also the contractors and the facade contractors should study those documents very well. Not only one person in the contracting company, not only one person in the facade contracting company. All staff, all people involved in the business should study these documents prepared by the facade consultant very well. Okay, when we start construction planning, this is okay. You see this planning here. It's all called as planning, but planning is not planning itself. Planning and communication is very important. Planning can be dynamic. Plan can change on the way, but you should know how to change it. You should know what's the methodology of making the plan and continuing. And the schedule, not a schedule messy like this. Schedule also can change. But it must be dynamic, it must be controlled, and there must be a communication between the actors. Okay, let me speed up. Monitoring. Now, when I said the documents by the architect and the consultant must be prepared very well, and then the contractors and the facade contractors should prepare their documents in a very well-established method. And then the control, the reviewing of the documents by the parties is very important. But there should be a very well-defined way for this review. There should be a very well-defined for this kind of project submittal and reviewing. Okay. And then the site inspections. Of course, site inspection by the facade consultant, by the architect. They will look different things. Facade consultant would look into technical details. But believe me, there are things that only a very well-experienced facade consultant can see. There are things that everyone knows that it is correct, but it is not. So there must be your consultant and the technical team to inspect periodically your works. And okay, I'm saying facade consultants because I'm a facade consultant. I think this evening there will be a very nice panel meeting here. And they're going to discuss facade consultancy. Is it a trendy fashion or a necessity? So, okay, I'm explaining you here something. You will decide maybe after my presentation, but we will all be here listening them, and we will decide after that if it's real necessity or a fashion trend. Okay, let's go a little bit faster and let's go to the supply chain. Again, a very traditional chart for a very traditional approach. And this is the design team. And you have start with the client and the team. They should all team up. And then the main contractor starts taking the responsibilities. But the thing is, during a construction, all these actors must be defined very well. must be defined at the beginning. Everyone should know who is doing what. Okay, who are the actors? Of course, there's an owner. The owner is always important because sometimes they unlock some critical positions. So we have this. It starts with an idea. It starts with an investment. Then, of course, we have the architect. We need the architect from the beginning till the end. This is very important. What do we have? Of course, consultants, many consultants, but I'm going to explain about the facade consultants. What we do at the beginning, we find a balance between the investor and the architect. The balance between the look and the cost. And then we run some engineering calculations, we make some researches, we try to find the best material, we try to find the best design, and then we document them to lead the others, to make a plan, a way for the job. Okay, and there's the main contractor. Of course, the main contractor will take the responsibility. Okay, I know the general image about the main contractors. I just put this image to help their image a little bit. So we'll have a main contractor here. And then the facade contractor. Facade contractor is very important. Facade contractor, we should choose our facade contractor very carefully. First of all, their financial situation, their distance to the job site and things. It shouldn't be too big for your project. It shouldn't be too small for your project. But facade contractor is not only facade contractor. Here's the system house, system supplier, glass supplier, other material suppliers. There are other actors behind facade contractor. The facade contractor should have a good team to get in this communication I was talking about, to prepare the projects well, to understand what's going on, to understand what the consultant says. There are different methodologies about facade contractors, facade specialists also we call them. It can be one company under, but for example, they can system design and fabrication in their own body, and the installation, they hire another subcontractor, or sometimes the system, they only design the system and fabrication and installation coming out. And there's one more method. The owner go and contract with the installer, but then they both decide together the system and the facade contracting and the materials. But this is used in America. In Europe and in Asia, we usually use this method. Of course, facade contractors will have system house. Systems house, who is system house? Systems house, they don't contracting the facade job themselves. You know, many brands, many famous brands. They prepare some systems, some materials, some products. They make the engineering behind it. But those are usually, those are not custom designs. Those are usually the products all established and finished, waiting for the new project. If your project is very big, and if the facade contractor that I talked about a little bit earlier, it has an ability to design their own systems, like we have seen here from our colleague before, it's okay, no problem. But if your project is mid or small size, usually try to have a system supplier, not profile supplier, system supplier on the board. Okay, let me go for some examples. For example, this is from Uzbekistan, Tashkent city. It's now the, I think, the tallest building in Central Asia. What we did together with the architect, as a facade consultant, we are a lot of involved in this design process. First of all, we are going to use the American stuck joint system because this has to be a unitized wall facade. Unitized wall, I think you call it here is modular facade. We call it unitized facade. We are going to use a stuck joint system, but then a system house involved in this, and a very well-known system house, they designed their system, the custom design for this project, but of course based on their standard process. So we continued with the European style symmetrical systems. And also how we teamed up with the architect. This is a very tall building, 250, but the traditions in that country, they say they need to open sashes, they need some fresh air, fresh ventilation in such high buildings. So thanks also to our friend speaker about the ventilation. So there are different kinds of ventilations. What we used here, this flap vents, very small vents. So there's no risk, there's no risk for the kids, and there's this ventilation in this building. Another building here, it's in Moscow, south of Moscow, Skolkovo. We were planning to use unitized wall here, but then we had a value engineering study, and we convert this to the stick system, again from a very well-known system house company. We have finalized this building with stick system. Another example from Turkey, Istanbul. This is Central Bank of Turkey. This is now the tallest in Turkey. It's 350. It's almost finished. A couple of months left. But what we did achieved here together with the architect, he wanted especially natural stone. For such high building and very high wind loads, it was not easy. It was very heavy. So maybe 5-6 centimeter thick natural stones. So we did a research, and we came up with the solution of natural stone lamination with honeycomb panels. We started working with a company. Only the tests were about 8 or 9 months, but at the end we reached to a very successful solution, and then we used this method here. So this high, you see natural stone. It is really natural stone, but there's a nice technology behind it. And also in this, I'd like to tell this because there's about our friend was talking about this natural ventilation. We use natural ventilations behind the stones. It's hidden back there. There's a night cooling system. I will explain in the break if you want. Then there's another example about good planning, good designing. This building is finished like this, and 10 months later, look at this. Look at this level. All changed. The money spent for this part, the giant glasses, very expensive, spent, and the companies came and put their corporate identity things around them. But the problem was not that. The problem was after these changes, there were problems with water infiltration and heat and things, and that we went there for an inspection. So I thank you very much. In this time, I could only explain these things about planning and how to go to a successful facade. And thank you. I'm very happy to see you again. Have a nice day.
Мехмед, спасибо большое. Спасибо. Конечно, на каждый вид работы свои консультанты. У нас, конечно, немножко все по-другому.